Louisville's coach Pat Kelsey recently brought in two of the country's top shooters into the Cardinal program. Virginia's Isaac McKneely and Xavier's Ryan Conwell are both pure knockdown shooters. So stick around because today we're going to look at their game film and talk about what they're going to bring to the Cardinals next year.
Coming out of the timeout, Virginia trying to get a good shot. McKneely got a good look and very.
Louisville is a team that shoots a lot of threes, and that's by design. Pat Kelsey places an emphasis on it, and last year they shot over 1,000 attempts as a team. So it was incredibly important that they add as many high-quality shooters as possible. You simply aren't going to find a more quality shooter than Isaac McKneely. Looking at his stats, it's insane how efficient he's able to be given the volume he puts up from behind the arc. So when we're talking just on jump shots, and that's all shot quality involved, he had 242 attempts from three, which is a massive number, and he shot 41%, so he knocked down 101 of those shots. 41% on that volume, almost 42%, is insane on the college level. And these aren't easy shots that he's taking. To give some perspective there and tell you how crazy this is, he makes a living off catch and shoot opportunities. Even when he's guarded, and they classify that if he has a hand in his face, he had 106 looks that were considered guarded on catch and shoot threes, and he still shot 45% on those attempts. That's nuts. Now, I get what a lot of people are going to say. Sure, Virginia was not good last year, but Isaac McKneely was, and that makes it even more impressive when you factor in that every pregame scouting report consisted of, hey, don't let Isaac McKneely get looks, got to guard him close, got to run him off screens, and he's still knocking down shots at the rate that he was. Like, that's impressive. So you have to, project him for even more efficiency on a Louisville team that's going to have options around him, that's going to create space, that's going to give him more clean looks. And when you factor in his shooting ability that we've already talked about, that's really dangerous. But Louisville was not satisfied with just adding one high-level shooter. They also wanted to add Ryan Conwell from Xavier. And Conwell is not a slouch either when it comes to shooting. Last year, he had 240 attempts from three-point land and made 101 of them, which all comes together for about 41% from deep, almost 42%. Another very, very high-caliber shooter. If he is left open, he's going to make the defense pay. When he was unguarded last year, he made 50% of his attempts, which is mind-boggling. The really great thing about Ryan Conwell is that he brings you a little bit more to the table as well, and he's not just a shooter. He's efficient coming off of ball screens. He can get to the rim a little better, which is something, the other area where Pat Kelsey puts emphasis. He's able to finish. So I think when you add those two pieces together, they both bring high-level shooting, but it doesn't just limit you to having two guys you're running off of screens. So they complement each other incredibly well, and it's going to be great for Louisville because it's going to keep two high-level scorers on the court at all times with the rest of their crew and put them in a position to have a very good, very efficient offensive year. It's setting the table for them to be another top of the ACC team. So what does this all mean for Pat Kelsey and Louisville? They were already top 20 in the country in terms of three-point attempt rate, which is really just a metric that tells you how often they're shooting threes compared to the rest of their shot attempts. So when you start to look at it from a roster construction standpoint, it just became really transparent that they needed to add more shooting to this team just to create the spacing and the type of offensive flow that they desire. I'm really of the opinion that Isaac McKneely is probably the best pure shooter that was available on the transfer market, and bringing him in is just a huge boon for Louisville. They're going to be in a position to where they have a guy on the court who's demanding attention at every second of the game. Like, you cannot lose track of him. You can't, not run off of a screen correctly and give him an open look because he's going to knock it down. And then you add a guy like Ryan Conwell to the mix, who not only is a good shooter in his own right, again, he's shooting 40% from beyond the three-point line, but he also can do other things for your offense. He's not strictly an off-the-screen guy. He's more of an off-the-dribble. He can make things happen. He's going to create more opportunities for McKneely and the other offensive threats on the team. So all in all, this is just a major coup for Louisville. They are able to construct a roster that's going to be highly competitive. And Pat Kelsey is no stranger to the transfer portal. Just last year, I think he brought in over 120 points per game through the portal alone, and he's off to just another fantastic start this year. Louisville's in a position to succeed. But I'm curious to know your thoughts. How's Louisville going to be next year? What do you think these additions are going to bring to them as a team, and where do you think it puts their ceiling? Drop a comment below and I'll be sure to reply. As always, thank you for being here. Hope you got something out of this. Always open to hearing some feedback from you guys. Feel free to like and subscribe. It helps me out more than you know. I love the community we're building here, but I'll see you guys on the next one. Let me know if there's a particular story you want covered.